Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lavender Book Company. I just wanted to share some of my favorite children's books today. Of course, before we jump into anything, my name's Kat. I am just a mom of two. I have my own self-publishing company, and I currently have a children's book out right now, The Adventure of Theodore James. I'm working on book 2, and the whole goal of my company is to bring classic feeling literature, but to the modern child. Here I give a whole behind the scenes on the small business, what it's like to create the books, and all that kind of fun jazz. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe. I'd love to have you around. Let's go ahead and jump into some books. So I know I took last week off. I just needed a week off of YouTube, and honestly, it was really nice. So now that I'm back, I was wanting to just sit down and share some really fun children's books because I haven't shared any in a while on here. I think it's been a while since I've done an actual sit down. So these ones here, I was kind of having a hard time deciding which ones exactly that I wanted to share, kind of like an overarching umbrella, because I didn't want them to be all super random. So the ones I have decided to share are the ones that I feel like are the most meaningful for your kids to own in their library. So of course we have some silly books, and we have some other books that I always recommend, like Peter Rabbit, but these are ones that I just feel like every kid needs for different reasons. Okay, so the first one is Kobe Amada. So these ones here, I have 2 others from him that I will also show as well. But so his is What You Do with an Idea and then What Do You Do with a Problem. I just really like these books. I like the way they're written. I like the illustrations a lot. And to me, they're really meaningful. And I feel like they give very good visuals to the kids at that age when they're trying to figure things out in life. Especially this book, the What Do You Do with a Problem. So it's just a really good visual for kids. And I really enjoy the artwork in this one. And yeah, I think it's really special. So also from Kobe Amada is Trying and Then Noticing. So these books are a little bit longer, a little bit heftier books, I would say, in a way. So definitely for your older child, but again, very pretty books, and they're very symbolic. And I absolutely adore these books. I adore his work. He's one of my favorite children's book authors, more modern day authors, and he just does amazing work. And of course the illustrations, these ones are done by Elsie Hurst, and the other ones were done by May Beeson, but these ones I absolutely love. This one is definitely an older story, and I actually have a read aloud for this book. When I first started the account, I was doing read alouds, and so this one is actually on there as well. But The Little Red Hen, I adore this book because of the message behind it. It's just about a hen who she has to get down and do all the work. And it has a really good lesson in there about hard work and basically reaping what you sow. And it's just, this one I love the illustrations. I love the renderings on this one. So this one I love it. It's a really good story and a good little message in there as well. The next one, I read this one so much as a kid, and definitely reading it back as a parent and an adult. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. I definitely look at it a different way. But The Giving Tree, I think this one's a really meaningful book for kids to read. And I think it's also special for parents to read, because you definitely do see it in a totally different way. It's one of those books that you read as a kid and you think, oh, that's a cute story. And then when you become a parent, then you understand it. You get it. It's way deeper meaning than what you initially thought as a kid. How did that get in there? This one I actually mentioned on Instagram. This is one of the books that just makes me cry every freaking time I read it, because there is so much truth into it. So for kids, it's one of those things you read it and you enjoy it for what it is. But then reading it back as an adult, there's so much truth in this book. And there are a lot of things that you can just relate to in this book. And so I do get emotional every time I read this book. But I absolutely love it. I think it's something that every kid should own in their library at home. And it's a very meaningful book. And I think it's the same as The Giving Tree. It just it sheds more light on it as you get older. So I would definitely recommend this one. So this one might surprise some people, but this one also makes me cry every single time because I think there's so much symbolism in this book, but The Polar Express. So if you have only ever seen the movie, I think you may miss a lot of the symbolism that's in the book. And I think the book is so beautifully written. And even my husband will also get emotional while reading this book as well, like especially towards the end. So it's just, it's such a beautiful book. So if you've never actually read the book to your kids, if they don't have this in their library, I would definitely recommend getting this one, like one of my top 10. I absolutely love this book. And I mean, I'm just a huge fan for like symbolism. So this one definitely got me. Of course, I cannot go a video talking about meaningful books for kids without talking about my all-time favorite, The Velvetine Rabbit. So this one is probably one of my top 3 books for kids. It's definitely a longer book, but I was able to read this book in one sitting when my daughter was 3. And for some kids, you may have to like work up to that. It's definitely like a longer book. And I don't know if you can see like how long that is, and each page is like full. So, but this rendering, I absolutely love. The artwork is just so like beautiful inside. So it's just so pretty. And the story behind it, the writing, oh, it's an amazing book. It's absolutely amazing. And I highly recommend this for anyone. And seriously, it can make me so emotional every time I read this book because, again, just the symbolism behind it. Okay, lastly, this is probably one of my favorite more modern day authors as well. So these are just some of the books that we have of hers, but Emily Winfield Martin, I think her stuff is just like so adorable. And then my all-time favorite books of hers are these here. So I got them in this like trilogy set. So it just says like the Dreamy and Magical 3-box set. And it includes the best-selling book, Oh, the Wonderful Things You Will Be. So I absolutely love her stuff, like, and just the artwork is just amazing. It's like so whimsical and just dreamy, and I just absolutely love her stuff. And it's so full of like imagination and wonder, and I just think these are like really meaningful books for kids because they almost like see the world from like a child's perspective. And so I just absolutely adore her stuff. Those are all the books that I have for you guys today. I definitely want to share more children's books, especially from our own library. This is just like a fraction of what we have. I want to do a video coming up where I kind of share books that I'm just like nostalgic of, so they have no like special meaning, but it's just sheer nostalgia. And I think it would be really nostalgic for a lot of people too. So if you would like to see that one, let me know down below, because I think it'd be kind of fun to see if any of my nostalgic books are like y'all's. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which books you have and which ones your kids have and they absolutely love as well. I know building an at-home library for the parents can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're kind of new to the arena of like children's books, like where do you even start? So honestly, I would recommend all these books. I think these are all really wonderful books for kids to have. And of course you can always have like those silly books too. I think those are totally fine to have, but these are the ones that like, they're just so well done for different reasons, whether you're talking about the illustrations, the writing, the symbolism. There's so many things to these books and there's so many reasons why I love them. And I've held them like close to my heart for so long. And I mean, obviously that's not like why I'm making children's books because of the impact from them. So I would say never underestimate the impact of the books you have at home and the ones like you read to your kids, because they do make a huge difference and you'll never know which ones stick with your kids. So anyway, so I would definitely recommend any of these. If you have any questions for me, definitely leave them down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.